Yes, all right, the lads. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again with another live stream, just 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours just after the last one. And I told you it's transfer deadline day. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to speak about. I'm joined by the big man in the house, Glenn. How are you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah, the 2 days after Arsenal, whenever Arsenal is not playing, you always feel good because over the weekends, the last 3 weekends has been horrible. So I think it's great enough that we are away from Arsenal for 2 weeks. So I'm doing good.
Yeah, right. So people, make sure you do smash a like on the video if you're watching this live, and of course on replay. Do smash a like on the video. That really helps me a lot. On YouTube, we're gonna be diving into a couple of issues, especially in terms of the Arsenal transfer deadline day. Howsam Aouar, the deal seems to be crumbling. The deal seems to be crumbling, and Arsenal have failed to give an answer or a response to Leon. We will talk. We'll talk about that. I think we're just unserious. This was an open opportunity to get a deal that we wanted to do ages ago. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has come out on social media, and it looks like he's held captive at Arsenal. He's come out and said he wants to go where where he feels appreciated, and where he feels like this is where I'm wanted. We're gonna be diving into that. Edu and Mark Overmars. Mark Overmars obviously coming out and saying he wants a position at Arsenal. Edu's job is in jeopardy. Do you think he's done well? That's the question I've asked you in the chat. Do you think Edu has done well in this transfer window? Probably you think the 5 signings he's done is what we deserve, or do you think we should have done better? He should have done better in terms of transfers. So like I said, I'm joined by Glenn. Link is in the video description for his channel. Make sure you do check him out. Let's start off with Houssem Aouar, because that is where I think a lot of news is coming out in the last 14 minutes. I've seen so much in terms of Houssem Aouar. And let's start from there, Glenn. Sky are now saying that Houssem Aouar is set to miss a move to Arsenal or anywhere, on this deadline day, with Lyon now being more convinced that the player could stay at the club. However, Arsenal do still have the opportunity, as well as Spurs. They have the opportunity to sign the player. We've been offered the player. We've been offered the opportunity. To an extent, when Lyon offered you a player, it's like you can't do better than that. That is the best you can do. That's the best you can go for. Lyon usually do not do that. They're always very, very hard to negotiate with. They're always very tricky. But Houssem Aouar offered to Arsenal, and now it looks like he's likely to stay at Arsenal at Lyon, according to Sky Sport. What is your take on that? Do you think there are any reasons behind the scenes why we failed to get Houssem Aouar over the line, or do you think the situation could change? Probably in the coming hours. Probably for Aouar to join Arsenal.
I mean, it's one of two reasons. It's either one, he has like a situation like, let's say, like an Onana. He has something behind the scenes that we don't know about. That could be one of the reasons. Maybe we really want him. The team knowing about him that we don't know. Is he injury prone? Don't know. No, it doesn't look so. Is he a personal that wants too high wages, like wages too high and stuff? Never know. So that could be the first reason. The second reason could be they have maybe they don't want him and they have a better option. But that is what we thought. Yeah, we have other plans. The not yet shown until today. So it's either one, like him is the things that you understand, or number two, a better option for us. But we don't understand. I don't understand. It was September, so it was at the end of September last year, August. So 11 months ago, given 5 and they rejected. We're being sometimes in a loan deal, and we are refusing. So it's absolutely like I don't understand what's going on at Arsenal anymore. That's what I can tell you. If you don't sign a player by tomorrow and the transfer window closes, it will be absolutely shocking to me. Because usually like 4 rush to buy players, and I'm thinking that's what they'll do. So unless they have other options, for me, Awar is a player that will make a difference at Arsenal. We saw the other day. Now, is out. Elneny, does it really give you what you want? Like the games against Norwich and Crystal Palace, will Elneny give us the kind of creativity we had in those games? I don't think so. Lokonga, yes, I don't understand why he didn't start the other day. But Willock is gone, Niles is going. We don't have any other midfielders at all. So we have to get someone in, and Awar would be the best option. In terms of playing on a 4-3-3, playing a 4-2-3-1 against with Partey, it would be so good for us to have someone like that. And as I said, I don't think he's injury prone. So unless you have something like that they don't want, like we've seen at under management, players like Sleep and players like losing going away because of indiscipline, supposedly. So me, but definitely for Arsenal, as we said earlier on, if it makes sense, Arsenal for you. If the transfer makes sense, it does not. Listen, if they go tomorrow and they buy Madison, no one will remember Awar. But if without buying any, ready to buy Awar, he's available. Unless it will lie to us that is available, the personal terms are high, but I really just don't. 2 years to sign. Yes, Partey took more than 2 years when signing him. Awar could take 2 or 3 years as well, but I just don't understand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the same situation we had with players like Nabil Fekir. We tracked Nabil Fekir for almost forever, and we thought maybe it was a time when Arsenal could, could get him. Liverpool tried to hijack the deal, and we were a little bit confident you could get Nabil Fekir. And now it's ages. We never signed Nabil Fekir. He was a player we wanted. He was a world-class player. And I still don't understand the reason as to why we didn't get in Nabil Fekir. But with Houssem Aouar, what I really don't understand is there is a need that needs to be fulfilled. Arsenal do need to get in a central midfielder. Now that Xhaka has 3 games out, we only have 2 players that can play in that area. Now that is Mohamed Elneny and Albasami Lokonga. The rest of the players, Partey is injured. I mean, Xhaka is out on a 3-match ban. You thought this could be the time. This could be the opportunity where you get in a player like Houssem Aouar just to correct the situation. And now it looks like it's going to be staying at Lyon. But do you think do you just hope there could be a late night U-turn maybe on deadline day? Arsenal just doing a deadline a deadline U-turn.
That's what he hopes. I can see my internet is hanging a bit. Sorry about that. Hope you guys can still hear me though. 2011, we did a lot of transfers at the end. The likes of Achita came in. A couple of seasons ago as well, as I said, last season Partey came in. So we always have that thing of signing someone on deadline day. Let's hope this time we sign someone. We have to sign someone. Literally, we've never been this bad. We are bottom of the table. Bottom of the table after 3 games. We have to be, because the Awar is not in the top 10 best players in the world like Ronaldo is for United. It just needs something new, fresh blood in the team, to inject something new. Someone comes in, the team feels more confident. Like the way Ronaldo has come in now, I'm telling you, everyone at United wants to play. McTominay, sure, every one of them feels like they want to play. But for us, who do you really want to play with? Like, is there any motivation? So we want to inject something new at Arsenal, and they have to get something done on deadline day. And I think they'll get something. Maybe not 2 or 3, like I saw in your poll on the last stream. Maybe not 3 players. Maybe not 2 players, like you said. Maybe just 1. And it has to be a midfielder. And I still think we'll get a midfielder, not a right back.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's move on to Edu, because Mark Overmars says there is something very interesting going on the internet, and many Arsenal fans would ask themselves why I asked them about Edu in the chat. Make sure you do tell me your opinions, by the way, about Edu in the poll. Do you think Edu is doing well in this transfer market, or do you think he's absolutely doing a lot of crap and nonsense? Because I've seen Edu and Arteta trending, and the tweets in the trend, Arteta out and Edu out. But the reason as to why I asked you about Edu is is very easy. Mark Overmars, one of those Arsenal, I don't know, Arsenal legends, very, very, very good player, has told Ray Parlour, and this is it. So let's get into it. He said, I've had a text on of him before saying, oh Ray, I need to go back at that club, Arsenal, and sort it out, because he obviously was at Ajax, and he sacked Dennis Bergkamp, believe it or not, and Frank De Boer. So Mark Overmars is one person that has been linked with Arsenal, obviously in those technical positions, not as a manager, but probably as a sporting director, and those positions there. Obviously, if he comes in as sporting director, Edu has to go. So let us start from there. What do you feel? Glenn? Do you think Edu is definitely doing a good job at Arsenal? Do you think he's one of the people we have to move on, or do you think he's fine? We could actually work with him.
I mean, I'm looking at the transfers that he made. Listen, when he did the Martinelli transfer, I was like buzzing. I was like, this is now the kind of signing you want. He was working in Brazil before. If you're bringing us good Brazilian players, we all know how good Brazil is. Yes, bringing someone like a Martinelli, you're definitely doing the good job. But since then, looking at the transfers, Anderson came under him. Willie had 220,000 away contract under Edu. The rest of Luis was also signed. The rest of Gabriel, yes, there's been good signings. I'm not going that Arteta and Edu have signed bad players. Gabriel was a good signing. Ben White, I still believe, is a good signing. Lokonga looks like a good signing. Tavares, I think we have to wait and see. Ramsdale, we have to wait and see. Martinelli was a good signing, although it was under Edu and not Arteta. There's been good signings. But when you start seeing people like Willian and Ranasson, and I agree with you. I think we only signed that Willian because he's Brazilian and Edu is his friend. That's what I'm thinking. And we cannot afford to do such business in a big team like Arsenal. Like bringing in friends, doing contract negotiations with friends, agents. That's why we were working with him. So for me, this transfer window was the big one for them, and I think they failed. Yes, they've spent 130 million, but did they really spend the way we wanted? Obviously, it's easy for us to sit down and say, no, 130 million, AOUAR, a goalkeeper, Bissouma, and you're okay. Maybe it's not that easy to do. Maybe we don't know how quickly they have to do those deals or how slowly they have to take it and negotiate. But we've literally signed backups. That's the truth. We've literally only signed backups. Apart from Ben White, everyone else is a backup. And yes, you cannot sort out your backups first before you sort out your main team. The approach in this transfer window has just been totally wrong. I don't understand. And another thing is they lied to us. I don't understand this thing of we didn't sign players because there's the Euros and the Copa America. Maddison was not playing at the Euros. Edu was not coaching at the Copa America. Arteta was not coaching Spain at the Euros. AOUAR was not playing in the Euros. All these players, Lokonga was not playing in the Euros. Tavares was not playing in the Euros. Like, why did it take so long to get Tavares through the door? Why do we have to wait until the end of July to sign Tavares? These are people who would have signed a long time ago. Have them play in 4 or 5 games. Get rid of Kolasinac a long time ago. We would have brought in Lokonga and have played at least 2 or 3 games against maybe Rangers or Ibanian, but we have to wait until the end of the transfer to sign these players. I mean, it can't be that hard to get Tavares, surely. It cannot be that hard to get Tavares through the door. Yeah. I mean, he's not an Alisson from Roma. We're not trying to get Donnarumma from Juventus or whatever, or AC Milan. Like, we're not trying to do that. Those are transfers that are hard to do. But Tavares, Lokonga, why does it take them so long to do deals? I mean, of course, they have a life outside the pitch. But when you start seeing, Edu enjoying himself, making a barbecue, and Arsenal is suffering, I don't even blame Arsenal fans, like, commenting on his post, like, buy players, because it's really frustrating. Yes, they have a life outside the pitch. it does not set a good when Edu's they're making barbecues in Arsenal with no transfers. Have we ever seen Man United making barbecue on Instagram? Abramovich from Chelsea, do we see him on Instagram making barbecues? Yeah, he has a billionaire, he can make it if he wants. We never see. But for Arsenal, it's always that. It's always this one on Instagram, this one is on Twitter. Like, it's the whole team, you know? I don't mind if they enjoy themselves, the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, but it sends a bad picture and someone is there. Like, of course, you can handle you know how much fun. To answer that question, if Edu is doing a good job, no. That it's been terrible. And also getting rid of Willock, I'm okay with. That money I was okay with. 25, I'm okay with. If they get rid of Niles on a permanent transfer, I'm okay with. The rest, Martinez, that Martinez one, it hurts until today. I love Leno. I know, but for me, Martinez, you should have kept him. I mean, I've seen so many players asking to leave, but they still remain in the team for at least one more season. Just convince him you have to stay. Not just. I'm pretty sure Arsenal couldn't wait for someone to come in for him. 3.5 for signing players like Gabriel and Martinelli. But other than that, this transfer window, terrible. And also the inexperience. Sometimes you can't even blame them. This is like their first job, all of them.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking about, still talking about Edu and the inexperience and things like that. You know what? One thing I didn't like about Edu is, I mean, okay, we are looking at a young project, Arsenal. Now we know the Cronkies have decided to go for something young and you know, a project to build a project and things like that. But why then do you go for Mikel Arteta? I mean, was he the best? You know, was he the best profile to take this project, you know, forward? And I think that's the reason as to why Edu is going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard for Edu to sack Mikel. He brought him here and he told him, you know what, you know, this project ABC is going to be, it's going to work out. Now, what is funny is that the project isn't work out. Isn't working out. The project won't work out. It's gonna be very hard for him to, you know, to sack Mikel, and that's gonna be, another big problem. What's this you've shared?
I wanted to show you guys the business Edu has done. So you can see Edu approved a deal for Willian, who was handed a 220,000 a week contract. That was Edu. Yeah. Edu also oversaw the signing of goalkeeper Ranasson, who looks well short of being capable, way far, and also got rid of Martins.
I think that was the worst. That was the worst.
I'd also forgotten about this one. Edu is actually the one who approved the signing of Saliba for £27 million, and he does not get along. Maybe that's fine. That's not Edu's problem if Saliba doesn't get along with Arteta. Also, during his reign, is bought Luis, I think he was terrible for the first season, okay for the second season. Pablo Mari, Gabriel, Ben White, Cedric, all those players. How many of them have worked? I literally maybe 5 out of 20 have worked, to be fair. Only like 5 out of 20 have worked totally. Again, the Arteta situation again. I mean, to me, it looks like they kind of clash in the background. I don't know how you feel about that, Cossy. I feel like maybe Arteta and Edu collide in terms of decisions sometimes in the background. Like I think this one wants this one and this one wants this one. Like for Partey and AOUAR, like you mentioned before.
Yeah. Because for me, I don't get it. Why if both of them wanted Houssem AOUAR, then they should have had a consensus that let's go for him now. But it looks like it was just one of them who wanted AOUAR. And the other one, wanted Thomas Partey. And the moment we brought in Thomas Partey, the AOUAR deal looks like it's no longer a priority. It's not a priority. You've seen the likes of Maddison. You've seen the likes of Odegaard, Lynch, Joaquin Correa, Ruben Neves. It's far away. It looks like one of them is not even interested in AOUAR, and the other is much interested. But is Mark Overmars the man you would love to see? He's done a very good job, in the Netherlands. Many people, of course, do praise him. Is he the man you love to see? An Arsenal legend, still someone who has the identity of the club and someone who knows what it means for Arsenal to win a game, and be on top for a couple of years. Would you do Mark Overmars? Do you think he would do us better?
I know you've said he understands the club. I don't know how many young fans we have in the comment section. 114 people watching. By the way, smash the like button for Cossy. When Edu was a good player at Arsenal. Edu was a very good player at Arsenal. So if you're young and you never watched Edu play, Edu was a really good player at Arsenal, and I can't say that he wasn't a good player. That yes, he's a bad director, but a good player. So that could be the same with Overmars. But Overmars has done a very good job wherever he is. He's done a very good job there, and I think he's more experienced. I think Edu has been doing it for a shorter period than Overmars, if I'm not wrong. So I think it's still good to keep someone who understands Arsenal thing there. Just get someone who understands Arsenal. But listen, if I can get a businessman or a very good director who understands the business part and everything, the business model, even if you've not played for Arsenal before and you understand it better than those two, that's fine. I will take you ahead of Overmars or Edu. But for Overmars, he's done a good job. He's currently at Ajax, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, currently.
And I've seen Ajax. Yes, Ajax always win their trophies over there, but he has really, really improved in terms of managing the club. And you wouldn't even expect that because he's still very young. But in terms of managing the club, he's really managed the club very well. And I really think we need a change. I think Edu being here for almost 3 years, I definitely think we need a change. And I'd definitely get Overmars. For now, if someone who understands Arsenal, I would get him. Because he's done a good job at Ajax, just like the coach who was at Ajax before. They've done a very good job there.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone can see that we've been mismanaged. That's one of the problems, by the way, Arsenal has. Apart from other clubs like Everton, Leicester City, they have the opportunity, they have a chance, they have been well run. So whether in transfers or out of transfers, they've been well run. It's so different from Arsenal. We've been mismanaged, and most of the time, we just feel like we are falling behind. We just feel like, we are not run by a club. And I think that's one of the things you need Mark Overmars for. You need a proper football man to run a proper football club, like a proper football club. I think that's when I think that is one of them. But
he's been there since 2012 as well, so he's done it for almost 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you, if you're Edu, how do you correct this transfer window? Because personally, I give it a 3. He's failed to move on the Deadwood. Of course, I know it's a very hard job to move on these, the likes of Kolasinac and all those, unless you terminate their contracts. It's very hard. But how would you correct this transfer window? Who comes in, who leaves in the next 24 hours?
Wow. If he corrects that transfer window in 1 day, give him a new contract. If he corrects this transfer window in the next 1 day, Edu and Atita geniuses. You've had 3 months. You've had since May. And to be fair, our season was already over by April. So we even had 4 months to get things done because we were out of every competition anyway. So they had time to think about everything, and they didn't. 4 months is a long time. Correcting it in 1 day, that is almost impossible. And even if you correct it in 1 day, if you try and correct it and buy players, I've been supporting Arsenal since 2004, and I've seen us panic buying so many times. And 2011 comes to mind again. We lost 8-2 to Man U, and we went to buy Arteta, Park Chu-Young.
A bunch of wallards.
Park Chu-Young. Matasaka was okay, I'd say he was okay for most time. It's Andre Santos, Benayoun. I've seen us buying Ryo Miyachi from Japan on these things like deadline days. Karlstrom in a January transfer window. All this panic buying, listen, you can panic buy if you get an injury. If you have 2 days remaining and then Ramsey breaks his foot like he did, that everyone understands that. You can be like, you know what, wow, we've gotten a bad injury, no one expected that. You can go quickly rushing to buy players. But you've had 4 months to buy players, and you're there. I will not start mentioning that barbecue. He's been there making those barbecues and chickens on his Instagram, and Arsenal is suffering. So correcting it, if he corrects it, this is what he needs to do. You need to get a right back. You definitely need to get a right back. Arsenal has, we have 7 players who can play as right backs. Ben White, Tavares, Chambers, Cedric, Bellerin. You can mention whoever.
And none of them is proper, by the way.
Yeah, and even 1 year ago, Socrates played as a right back for Arsenal against Portsmouth. Mustafi played as a right back for Arsenal. All those players. So you need to get a right back. Aarons or Trippier, I'll get Trippier in terms of experience. If you manage to get that through the door, very good. But you also need to get rid of players. My goodness, Kolasinac. You know, every time I just laugh when I hear say Kolasinac. Kolasinac is still playing for Arsenal in 2021. I mean, in terms of stealing a leave, those guys are doing a good job. I would love to be in Arsenal's team just earning 100,000 a week and I'm doing nothing. Oh, please, I'd love it totally. The only thing Kolasinac has ever done for Arsenal is protecting Ozil.
Yeah.
The only thing he's ever done is protecting Ozil. That's the only thing he's ever done for Arsenal. And do you know actually Kolasinac, before he joined Arsenal, he was the best left back in the league. I have no idea how he even beats people like Alaba. I have no idea.
I don't know. The German Bundesliga, the German Bundesliga is just, you know, is such. I don't know. I don't know. Their league is a joke. Definitely, because you know, I still remember then Kolasinac was one of the best players in that league that season. I mean, their league is just a joke. It's just a joke. It brings so many good players, but I just don't feel it like it. You know, just like the French League One, I wouldn't recommend anyone to waste their time, you know, really watching the German Bundesliga or the French League One. They just crap. They just crap.
Yep.
But I still remember he was one of the best players there.
He was voted best left back that season. So, but you got him on a free. You get what you pay for. We didn't pay nothing, and you got exactly that same with William. So a right back. So let me start with the players we need to get rid of. They need to get rid of Randerson. I think Randerson was supposed to go, but obviously he tested positive and then he couldn't go. So that's fine. So he needs to go now. Chambers and Holding won't go anywhere, unfortunately. I want them on the bench. They won't go anywhere.
Holding has a new contract. It's funny, but Holding has a new contract.
Kolasinac needs to go, definitely. I don't care. Just cancel the contract. Cancel the contract immediately. Kolasinac is not an Arsenal player. He's not even Premier League quality. You also need to get rid of I don't know, Niles. Just try and get rid of him. Maybe let him go. He wants to go, just let him go. Just let him go, and let's try and get some money. You know, I know you'll come and talk. Okay, let me. I think you'll talk about Niles' situation. Also, try and get rid of Niles because he wants to go. Yeah. Nelson obviously has gone out and on, but the important, let's get rid of at least 5 players, and then you need creativity in the team. You absolutely need creativity. I think in the goalkeeper situation, we are now okay for the season. I know Leno is not playing 100% like he can. Ramsdale had a very good game against West Brom, so it looked like we have a good backup goalkeeper. You need to get AOUAR seriously on loan or pay the 20 million, whatever you need to get him. You need to get the right back, and I won't say 5 players or get 6 players or do this or stuff. They won't get 5 or 8 players. That's not possible on deadline day. 3 players is enough. Those 2, and then maybe a loan deal. Maybe you can get someone on loan until the end of the season. And that has to be a central midfielder, defensive midfielder to help Partey out or to help Partey go forward. So for me, I'd rather get Bissouma, Trippier, and AOUAR. But if you can't get AOUAR, get Bissouma, Trippier, and some. That's not okay. That's not what I do. That's what Edu should do to save his job, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's put himself in a very difficult situation, and I think that is one of the things. As a sporting director, I'm gonna blame him for. He's done his business very slow, not in a way that he's taking his time, but in a way that, you know, he shows that he's clueless. That is my problem. You know, he's shown that he's really, really clueless. All the deals that he's trying to do, the Ruben Neves deal, where did that one go? The Manuel Locatelli, he went to Juventus, definitely. You know, all the deals he's tried to do have fallen off. They've just died. And I think it is his weakness as a sporting director. Now, still speaking about chaos and mess at Arsenal, Ainsley has taken to social media and he said, all I want to do, all I long for is to have a club that appreciates me, a club where they want me, a club where I can get playing time and play football. Now, for a professional footballer to come out and speak words like that, there are two things. One, you could say, he's childish and professional, just like what I think. But there is also another dimension that Ainsley is absolutely done and fed up. He's not getting playing for time. The club has objected to his, switch to Everton without a good reason. So he's like, what the hell is going on? Why don't you want to play me? And why don't you let me go? And actually, David Onstein has put out a tweet. Big up to Curtis, because I saw this first on Curtis show. He's put out a tweet and said Ainsley has never asked to play as a midfielder at Arsenal this season. He has always cherished and agreed and accepted his fate to play at right back. He has not gotten the opportunities. He feels like he wants to go. That is where we are, Glenn. A player is not getting game time. A player is definitely frustrated. He has got an opening at Everton. You, for Christ's sake, we have 4 right backs. Ainsley is not one of them that are getting game time out of the 4. He's got a chance, an opening at Everton. Why won't we let him go? First, the question is do you think it's the frustration in the squad that is causing players to blast like this? Aubameyang has called for crisis talks. Probably we shall have a time to talk about that. But Ainsley, do you think it's the frustration that is blasting up and busting?
First of all, man, like us talking about this stuff, we are such a big trouble. Right now, we should be talking about, which players we're getting on deadline day. We've enjoyed a good start to the season. We are here talking about Niles fighting with the team. We are a shambles. So I won't protect anyone. I won't protect Niles or the team. I'll make an argument for both of them. And let me start with Niles. Let me try and look at it from Niles' situation. We've talked about this with Cossy before. If I'm a footballer like Niles, I would not be joining Arsenal right now. And I would want to leave Arsenal. That is just the plain truth. I feel like there's so much going on, and I would not be wanting to involve myself. I think there's better teams, which is very good, not want to involve in this team right now. So I understand why he doesn't play, and sometimes he gets 5 minutes, and he doesn't even know whether it's going to be played for the whole season. He wasn't played when he had many competitions, 4 or 5 competitions. Now he knows maybe with 2-3 competitions he'll definitely not play. I understand that. But let me go back to the team situation. I always felt like Betty and Nelson became too comfortable in this team. I've always felt like they came in fast, they graduated to the first team, and I've always said I thought Niles became like, what? I'm in the first team now, you guys cannot tell me anything. Now I'm the king, now I'm here. And Saka has come after him, Martinelli has come after him, Smith has come after him as well, and they've all overtaken him. All 3 of them. These other 3 have overtaken these other 3. And that is because I think Niles became too comfortable in the team. So I understand why he wouldn't be played. Another thing I understand is we've been bullied in the transfer window for way too long. So many years. Martinez gone for 20 million. This one gone. This one we can't sell. This one, as I said the last time I was Ramsey, they took Ramsey away from us on a free, Juventus, and then the next season they want to sell him to us for 20 million. That is disrespect for us. That is disrespect.
That was the most disrespectful, transfer thing I've ever had. How do you take a player in a free, and then if you're like, what, he's not working out, but he's on contract, so you could give us some 20 million and take him back? Like, seriously,
very disrespectful. United back in the day, they looked at us and you're like, what, we'll give you Sylvester. That is pure disrespect. Chelsea giving us William, that is pure disrespect. So we've been disrespected for too long, and I don't want us to be disrespected again. Everton, if you're not paying the money, get out of here. That's what I feel the team should do. They're offering us a loan deal, and I don't want a loan deal for Niles. Either you keep him when you play him or you sell him. I don't want... Niles is 24, turning 25. I wonder how much he'll be improving in the loan deal. It's not like a Smith Rowe can go out on loan, he's 19 and come back and improve player. I think Niles is already now going into his prime. So if he's not at it right now, it's done for him. So I don't think a loan deal will help him, and it doesn't help us. I don't know how much is getting per week, but I don't think it's something massively crazy. So I don't want us to be bullied. So in terms of the team's perspective, Niles has been here for way too long and gotten comfortable. And also, let's not just give everyone out on loan. Sell these players. Chelsea is able to get 45 million for Abraham. They're able to get 30 million for Tomori. Liverpool is able to get 12 million for Shaqiri. Shaqiri, he hasn't played a game for 3 years. How comes we can't get any money for any of our players? Do you tell me that Bellerin, we can't get even 5 million for Bellerin? We cannot get 50 million for Niles or 20 million. So I understand why the team doesn't want to sell him. But in terms of supporting Niles, he's had enough. I've also had enough. Like, I can't blame him for wanting to leave. But also the way you approach it is another thing. Like, doing that in public is just a mess. That just shows.
I mean, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, especially at the time.
That shows every team. That shows every other team in every other fan that this Arsenal team is a mess. Look at their players wanting to leave. Just go to Arteta's office and tell him, listen, I want to leave. But putting it on Instagram, that is just embarrassing Arsenal. We already have enough embarrassment losing 5-0 the other day and conceding 9 goals already. And then this is more embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I know the frustration. I look at the frustration, and if we had a player like Bruno, he would be scolding those players on the pitch. Definitely, if you had a player like Bruno, you know, he would be scolding those players on the pitch. Because definitely, for me, a player that doesn't do basics, if your fellow player scolds you, I'm absolutely on their side. But with Ainsley, you don't. It's the same thing with Torreira, and it's the same thing with William Saliba. And it's becoming a culture. When players feel like they're oppressed, they just come out and they're speaking this and that. Players' agents are speaking this and that. Torreira's father is speaking this and that. Saliba is speaking this and that. It's a disgrace. We're a big club. We need to handle these issues internally. If a player doesn't want to go to play for you, the same thing with Hector Bellerin. The same thing with Granit Xhaka. They've said we want to go. Let them go so that you avoid situations like this. Otherwise, we are creating the same. We are creating our own problems, and we're actually deep into the soup. We have 44 likes on the stream. We have 130 people watching. Please make sure you do smash a like on the video. Thanks everybody for doing that. You guys are the real ones, and thanks everybody who's joined the chat, because I will definitely give you a chance. For all your comments, most of your comments to be read, and we will react to your comments and answer them. So make sure you don't stop giving us the comments. Glenn, Eddie Nketiah is another one that could live on a free, and I've been asking myself, which is smarter business? Do you let Eddie and Lacazette live on a free, or do you get something out of them? Do you sell them and get something out of them, and probably getting a striker? Odsonne-Edouard is available for 15 million, right? Eddie is not going to lead Arsenal's line in the next 2 years. Lacazette is going to leave on a free in the next year. If we sold both of them, we could raise around 20 million euros. I mean, and I'm talking about selling them cheaply. We could get around 20 million euros and spend 15 on Odsonne-Edouard, who can lead our line right from the day he comes at the club until the next 10 years, which I think would have been better business, which I think would have been smarter business. But Eddie, information coming out at the moment shows that Arsenal is still objecting that if no one wants to give them above 20 million euros, Eddie will stay. And Eddie has a chance to leave on a free in the next 4 months. It's the same thing with Alexander Lacazette. FC Bell have confirmed that Lacazette will leave on a free in the next summer. That is decided. Is it good business? We are losing players for free. We are terminating their contracts, and we are bringing in players expensively. Look, let's start off with Eddie. What would you do in Eddie's scenario? Do you keep him and let him go on a free, or would you get the 11.5 million Crystal Palace and Bayer Leverkusen are offering at the moment?
No disrespect to Eddie, but I'd even take 7 million.
Yeah, I would.
Listen, you saw what Iwobi did with Arsenal. We got 40 million for Iwobi. We stole money. So even getting that 15 million, 40 million from Nketiah, I think is a lot of money. I'd take it and run. Lacazette is a different situation. Nketiah, I've always said with Nketiah, I feel like these defenders in England, Lindelof, the Rudigers, the Van Dijks. Every time they see the lineup and they're like, Nketiah is the one we are playing against. Do you think they're like, oh, wow, Nketiah, this is a tough one? Van Dijk, the other day, I'm pretty sure he looked at Lukaku and he's like, today I'm going to have it. I have to be top of my game. They don't have to be in top of the game against Nketiah. That's the unfortunate truth. Nketiah does not scare any defenders in the Premier League, and that is the truth. We cannot have a striker that does not scare the opposition. Nketiah does not scare the opposition. Again, just like Niles, he's been here for more than 5 years. Can we mention anyone in the chat? Can you mention for me 5 games you remember from Nketiah? Even not even 5, just 3 games. Tell me 3 games that Nketiah actually really impressed you. 3 games. You will struggle to even mention one. For Saka, you can tell me against Chelsea last season, he was amazing. You can tell me Smith Rowe against Chelsea last season, both games, he was amazing. You can tell me Lokonga on his debut, he was okay, better than the other teams. For Nketiah, you can not mention for me 3 games that he really impressed you. And that is the problem. Defenders are not scared of him, and we have to get rid of him. He went to Leeds, and he was kept on the bench. Bamford played in the last few weeks, and he came back to Arsenal. So I don't think he can. Yes, he can improve past that, but I don't think Nketiah is a Liverpool or Arsenal striker. I literally think he could do a good job like at Brighton or Burnley, but not an Arsenal. I think he cannot improve us. So 11 million, I'd take it immediately. I'd sell him immediately. 11 million, I'd take it. But for Lacazette now, this is why I disagree with Cossy. I think if we get 10 million for Lacazette, that will be like abusing Arsenal. That will just be like getting bullied again. 10 million for Lacazette. 10 million. Are you telling me Lacazette is that bad of a player that you're getting 10 million? I understand that the contract is ending, but I'm in a situation where I rather lose him on a free. I understand that we lost Ramsey on a free, Sanchez on a free, Ozil on a free. All these players would have gotten like 50 million for at some stage. But for Lacazette, we can't get 10 million for him. That is just, that's being bullied, and I don't want us to get bullied again. Now, if we get rid of Lacazette and Nketiah at first, this is what will happen. If we get rid of Lacazette and Nketiah, as Cossy said, and we get 20 million euros, and on the final day we rush to get Edouard, they won't sell him to us for 15 million. Celtic will know we are desperate, and they're like, you know what, give us 30 million, we are not giving you a striker. And then Arsenal, as you know, will give them 30 million, and Edouard, you're going to get 400,000 a week. And then we're in another problematic situation. So if you're to convince me, you buy the player first, you buy Edouard first, and then you sell. This business of selling and then you buy on the final day, these teams will increase their prices because they know Arsenal is desperate, and we can't have that.
Yeah, it is, and you're definitely on point. But because in January, this is August, so August has ended. August, September, October, November, December. 4 months from now, Edin Nketiah and Lacazette are going to sign pre-mutual contracts with other clubs to confirm that they will be living on a free. And then 6 months from January, Arsenal will then go and sign an expensive striker, because I think Odson Edouard could be away. It looks like Palace are also interested in him, so they could take him. So 6 months, 10 months from now, Arsenal could spend around 30 million euros to buy a striker. I even don't know who we are going to sign. I even don't know, because I don't see strikers in the market unless otherwise. I don't see anyone. But what I thought would be smarter business is you get Eddie and get that 11.5, put it on the table for Celtic. If they refuse it, it's fine. Get some 10 million from Alexander Lacazette. You're bullied. You're absolutely bullied. But you're buying in someone for the future, and someone for me who I think can be a backup to Aubameyang, just like Alexander Lacazette, rather than letting them go on a free. Because I just don't feel like when you let them go on a free, I just don't believe in it. Definitely, I just don't believe in it. You'd rather sell them at cheap, get that money, reinvest in this. That's the problem with Arsenal. At times, we sell these players, instead of reinvesting in the squad, the money disappears. Like, I mean, we start doing a lot of crap with the money. But if you reinvest wisely in the squad, that's what Leicester City are doing. They'll sell a Harry Maguire for 80 million, and the fans will be like, they have sold our best defender. But then they bring in Soyuncu, they bring in Somare and Patson Daka. Now, which is better business? 8 million and then three players that improve you, a forward that improves you, that backs Vade, a midfielder that backs that is backing Tillemans and Dizzy, and a, a centre back that is doing all right, because I think Soyunchi is doing all right. In the league, given the Premier League, is doing all right. So I don't know. I don't know. I would think sell these guys on a chip because their contracts are running down. Reinvest in the squad and avoid future mistakes like that. Because I don't know why Alexander Lacazette's contract is running down. We should have sold him, last summer when he had a year. We could have got some good money, probably, if there was anyone interested, or a year back or 2 years back. The same with Eddie. If he never wanted to stay, I mean, talks with these young kids should be 2 years before the contract, is even expiring. You should know their stand. He says, I want game time. The manager says, we cannot guarantee you game time. So, you either know he's going or he's staying. But letting these contracts run down until deadline, the same with the likes of Ramsey. Ramsey was an important player at Arsenal. How did his contract run down until the last year? Like, how did it happen? Scenes that really don't make a lot of sense for me. But Glenn, as we go into the comments, into the comment section, just one or two to discuss. One is, would you let Cedric out of this window? Out in this window? Would you let Cedric Soares go out in this window? Because I've seen him training as well.
Cedric, but for money?
Obviously for money, not only free.
Yes, I would. I again, another thing I say, we say Xhaka is the guy who's made the most mistakes in the last 5 years in the Premier League. That's 9 mistakes. Cedric is number 2. We have 2 players. The whole Premier League, the 40 teams that have played in the last 6 years, we have 2 players that have made the most mistakes in the Premier League as number 1 and number 2. Cedric is number 2. So yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. When he came in, I was a little bit like, is that a relief? Is that a relief? But I would get him out. I'll get him out. He's one of our. I mean, he's one of the players that really just pulled the club down. And I think we just have so many of them. We have so many, players that are just pulling us down. Lingard is the other. Would you do a Lingard transfer if you had the chance to?
100%. 100%. Okay, not for 50 million pounds. Again, I don't want to be bullied in the transfer window. 30 million, 20, 25, something. I'd get him. I know he's really hurt us in the last 6 years by dancing and all that, but he improved us immediately. He literally made West Ham finish in the top 7. He's the one who made them finish there. So he can improve us. He can definitely improve us. So Lingard, yes.
Daniel James?
No. no, please. What does the Daniel James do better than Saka?
He runs a lot. He runs a lot. I don't think he has the quality.
If we want players who run a lot, let's go and get Traore. Not James. So James is coming to do the same job as Saka and Pepe and less. Not what even Saka and Pepe offers us so now.
Yeah. Jim, thank you so much for the super chat. 1.79 pounds. You've said we signed 5 players and 3 of them on the bench. You're absolutely spot on. Actually, let's be honest, Jim. I think we have 2 players that are starters, and the impact they make is not remarkable. I think I'm right, Glenn, when I say that.
Yeah, I do think Ben White will make a difference in our team.
He will make he will make a difference, and I think Odegaard will make a difference. But it's not the same if we had gotten Juice Koundé. And look, I'm still asking myself, how is Juice Koundé? How is Juice Koundé around 49 million? I've seen Chelsea struggling with the price. Around 49 million. How have we at least not tried Koundé? Maybe and failed. We could have tried and failed, but how have we not tried Koundé?
Now, for him, I think he just needs European football. That's what I'm guessing. I think that's another problem we have right now. Now, players won't be joining Arsenal because in 20th, I am not going there. I am not going there. These other teams can offer. I mean, Chelsea right now, I'm telling you, they can offer a lot. They can offer a good manager, and they can offer, come here and play with Lukaku and Havertz. If you're a striker, you're going to get many chances. If you're a defender, you're going to play in a back five with Mendy behind you, the best European goalkeeper award he got the other day. You're going to get it with Azpilicueta, a good leader. You're going to play with Thiago Silva, a good leader. Oh, I'm definitely saying yes. So Kunde just thinking he wants to European football, and if we get him, we're not going to get him for that price. We are going to pay 70 million. That's again being bullied.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks everybody for watching. In 160 people watching, please do smash the like button. Let's get them to 100. We're very close. We had 60 likes. Let's smash that one. The minimum should be 100 per stream. So make sure we do smash the like button until 100. I'm gonna mention 5 players that we can do, Glenn, and I need your reaction, whether you take them or not, and whether you think they are possible. 5 transfers that I think Arsenal can still make in this transfer window. But before that, thank you so much, ROK. $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. She says Arsenal need a quick turnaround. Great stream, Cossy and Glenn. A quick turnaround. We're gonna speak about that as well. We are really gonna comment about that. But Glenn, 5 transfers that still are possible, and I need your reaction. Number 1, Kieran Trippier.
Oh, absolutely. We need a right back. We have 3 right backs at Arsenal, and all of them are terrible. Trippier will bring in experience. He's good at crossing. He's good at set pieces, something we don't have. We have right backs who can't cross the ball. Bellerin, for example. Trippier is good at that. He has the experience. He's played in England before. He's played in North London before, and we also annoying Tottenham when we sign him. Yes.
Okay, Trippier, yes. How's AOUAR?
100%. He can help us play in a 4-2-3-1, in a 4-3-3. He can be the guy that we want in terms of attacking. Right now, we don't have any midfielders. Partey is injured. Xhaka is suspended. Willock is gone. Niles is going. We only have Elneny and Lokonga. Will Elneny and Lokonga take us from 20th to 6th? I don't think so. So we need someone to inject some new positivity into the team. So AOUAR, yes, and especially for that price, yes, and on loan, yes.
Nabil Fekir.
Nah, 2 years ago, yes. Right now, nah. I think there's a time he got an injury for way too long, and then I don't think he's had that much of an impact at BT. So he's also lost his spot in the French team. He's dropped way down in terms of the pecking order. So Fekir, no, I don't think he massively improves us like the other players would. So for him, no.
Felipe Coutinho.
Coutinho. I'd say if it's going to be a yes, but it's going to be a yes in terms of 51% yes, 49% no. So for him, I'm going to say yes because the creativity, we don't have it. We literally do not have it. He can add something. He can experience. Again, he's played in England before. But then again, I'm going to change my answer. Sorry. I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say no. Because of that money is going to be paid per week. And also the injuries. So, sorry, Coutinho, no. Injuries, he has 2 positives and 3 negatives. So that's why I'm going to say no. He has the experience. He has the creativity, but I think we've already gotten that with Odegaard. And if you get Trippier set pieces, we don't need Coutinho. But his injuries and his age, and then his I'd say no. Sorry.
Now the last one is funny, but I, look, guys, I've not got a reliable concrete source on this, but Sky are saying a big club in the Premier League is going for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Would you do Callum Hudson-Odoi, Glenn? Definitely is one player that shows promises a lot, but again delivers so little for me at the moment.
You say the big club. That's not us. That's not us. Because that's not us. That is the team that are in the top 10, not in the bottom. Hudson-Odoi, man. I think Hudson-Odoi is also a bit like Niles in terms of versatility. I think he can play as a right wing back, as a left wing back. I think he can play as a right winger. I think maybe he can even try play as a number 10. Hudson-Odoi. If it's, I'd say yes to him. I'd say yes. I think it adds something into the team. I also think he's improved his game since Tuchel came. I think in terms of attacking and defending, he's improved the game. And on that right side, if we're playing a back three like we did the other day, he can play as a right wing back and help us in terms of attacking better than Chambers and Bellerin. I'd take him.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks people of the super chats. If you want to buy your own super chat, click the dollar button in the in the section where you type a comment, and you'll be able to. But thanks everybody for watching in and smashing a like. It really means a lot. So please do smash a like on the video. We're at 70. We can't get to 100 people. We can get to 100 likes. Why not? Let's get that done as well. Arsenal spent a lot of on players much needed, not much needed. Why wouldn't they use that money for two strong signings? This is what I was talking about, Glenn. And I also feel like you feel the same way. You know, could we have spent better, the same amount of money, but better, still eyeing the same project, young Arsenal? I think we could have done better. Look, we could have got 30 million. For me, instead of signing in Absambi Lokonga, I would have done a Kamavinga, If we had done a Kamavinga for 30 million euros, that would be awesome. Then probably, Madison would be out of stretch for the budget. Go for AOUAR, 24 million euros. Or 25 million euros, okay, 30 million euros, that is 60 million euros. And I still feel Humphrey's pain that we could have spent the money better to make us a better side.
Yeah, I think we should have kept Matt Ryan first up as the backup goalkeeper, and not spent 25 million, totaling to almost 30 as well later on. Yeah. So I've kept Matt Ryan to be the backup goalkeeper for at least one more season. Tavares was definitely needed. We needed a backup left back, and as you can see, Tierney already got injured against Chelsea within 2 games. Lokonga, I agree with you. I don't think Lokonga was very much needed in the team. Would have gotten someone better than him in the middle. Someone else like or something.
I think his position is crucial and was crucial right from, I think, the time when we lost Alexander Song. His time, his position is crucial. But I think getting in someone who's like, Kamavinga would have been, hitting two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So the next one is Odegaard. I preferred Madison ahead of Odegaard 100%. And who was the last one? Ben White. Now, let me tell you, I think Ben White is a very good player. I know you guys saw the Brentford game and probably did not think so because it's 50 million. But I'm going to say that right now. I think he's a very good player. I think he'll definitely improve our defense that much. I think Ben White is 10 times better than Chambers. We've talked about that with Cossy in so many other videos. He can play 38 games. He did play 38 games for his team, that's 6 games.
Yeah.
Listen, Ben White has not missed a game because he's injured. He's ill. That can happen to anyone. So that is just bad luck, the Arsenal bad luck. But when he comes back, he's very fit and he can play every single game.
Yeah, I also don't think there's so many people. There's so many Arsenal fans out there, that believe, Ben White is one player that is a disgrace by signing for Arsenal. He's done a lot of nothing. The Brentford game was a disgrace, but I think he just needs time. I think Maguire is becoming one of the best defenders. If anyone is watching Maguire these days, by the way, he started the season so sloppy, by the way. But I think if you look at him in the Euros, he's not the Maguire that started last season, giving away, pulling Luke Shaw down and giving away free goals to Tottenham Hotspur. He's not the same Maguire. So I think if we give Ben White the confidence and time, he might be a real deal.
He's also versatile. He can play as a right wing back, midfield, and he can pass a ball. Believe me, he can pass a ball. So for me, maybe you should have signed him for 40 million. That is fine. Maybe you should have signed him for 40 million and not 50 million. So Ben White, I'm okay with. Tavares, I'm okay with. But the rest, that would have still have like 60 million maybe to spend. And that money is enough to get Maddison or Bissouma. That money is, getting Lokonga and Ramsdale, 2 players, and getting just Maddison. Just getting that Maddison, just one player, that sparks everyone. That improves. Like the fans in the comment section would have been happy with Maddison. The players themselves would then be like, you know what, we've gotten Maddison, now someone to create set pieces and everything, or someone like a Bissouma. I saw Bissouma playing against Watford. He got man of the match. He got an assist. How does he get an assist in a defensive midfielder? He knows how to press. He presses, takes the ball from the opponent, and it ends up as an assist. So for me, I think that man would have been enough to get someone else. So yeah, so I do agree. Ben White and Tavares I'm okay with, but the other players would have gotten someone different.
Khalid says Cossy, but Cossy, I love Arsenal so much. You know, I think, you know, Glenn, there's so many millions of Arsenal fans that, you know, it's like having a disappointing partner, a girlfriend, and, you know, just sit down, you know, and feel like, but I love her so much, and why is she doing this to me? And I think that is what Arsenal is doing. Definitely, you know, that is what Arsenal is doing. You know, you just sit there and you feel like, I love the club so much. What the hell am I supposed to do? I mean, and I think you know, there are just so many Arsenal fans that feel like this, you know, out there in the world, millions and millions.
It has. Yeah. I mean, the other day, this is the first time ever as an Arsenal fan. The third goal, I sat down and watched Man U beating us 8-2 from start to finish with United fans, but I was not going to leave there because I was still hoping we'd get a third goal because I love Arsenal so much, like Khalid. I sat down and watched Bayern scoring 10 goals, but this time around, the third goal went in. You know, I was not even interested in that second half. Like, I actually missed the Torres goal because I was looking on the other side because that's just like the love has been stretched away, like it's been taken away. Like the goals are going in, I'm not even feeling anything. That's the sad part. So I'm hoping they actually bring back the love for Arsenal.
Okay. You know, Laban says, I really don't know why we are buying or why they are buying average players. That's I know that's what you want to bet. That's what you want to mean. Average players. Really, the club is, you know, I mean, the shambles that the club continues. I think Arsenal need Bissouma to solve their problems. Just part of them, Glenn. I think many people actually feel like if we got Bissouma, because, you know, we have a midfield shambles, we could just correct all the mess. I think it's just part of them. I think only part of them could be solved with Yves Bissouma.
But this guy would solve so many problems. You know, right now Arsenal is trying to play. I know we all say that Arsenal has no playing style, but that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to press high and, you know, play from the back. I think Bissouma, in terms of pressing high, would really, really help us. So he'll be like covering, hitting like two stones. How do you say that? Two birds with one stone. Yeah, Arsenal have messed up my head. Yeah, two birds with one stone. With Bissouma, that's what you'll be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I've said, he gives us a couple of license tickets. One to Xhaka, one to Partey, one to Odegaard, and then another one to the team as well. Because, you know, he's just standing there. Just guys, get time and watch Abdoulaye Doucouré. Get time and watch Abdoulaye Doucouré. Okay, you could get time and watch Bissouma, but because you guys already love Bissouma, you'll be brainwashed already. Just get time and watch Abdoulaye Doucouré or Ndidi. If we get a time to watch Somare, it doesn't really do the same thing, but Somare is more like a Thomas Partey kind of player. But get time and watch them. You will know that teams have players and teams do really do good business. Edu and Arteta will not manage Arsenal because they don't know how to buy good players. I don't know where the problem is. This is according to Laban. They don't know how to buy good players.
I think they've bought good players. I think Gabriel was a good signing. I think Martinelli was okay. I think
Ben is an okay signing.
I think Bennett's an okay signing. I think Tavares is okay. But some though, the likes of Willian
and Ramsdale. And Ramsdale, by the way, is okay. The only problem is the money. And I said it that we had to pay the 24 because they bought him at 18, by the way. They bought him at 18 from Bournemouth. So for Sheffield United to buy a relegated goalkeeper for 18 million, there is something about him.
But you also think we've had that problem for years. I just don't think it's at a time they do by themselves. And we used to buy players like Benayoun and Santos, and Arteta wasn't there. Like, so those are. It's been a bad signing after bad signing for the last 10 years. So I don't know who to blame.
Yeah. I mean, if we had the guts to bring in Stefan Leicester and Sylvester from Manchester United, come on, Arsenal. We brought in Sylvester, man.
I have to say it's the scouts. Sometimes I even blame the scouts. I don't think we have good scouts at Arsenal. Like, those signings have been so terrible for years.
Because I think we lost style of play. I've seen something on going on Twitter, and they're saying Bentez just joined. You have this guy, Wolves manager Bruno Lange. Is it called Bruno Lange? I know it's
Large,
called
yeah.
Lange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have Nuno at Spurs as well. And these guys have already, you see, when you look at Wolves, you quake. Like, you quake. These guys have already started establishing a philosophy. I mean, Spurs, I don't know how they're going to play this season, but you can see that there is an element of what the manager wants them to do. There is that kind of element. They're not so possessive. They stole a win against Wolves. They stole a win against Manchester City, and they won 1-0. Was it against this weekend? Who did they beat? Watford. I think it was Watford. 1-0. They're not interesting. That kind of football is not interesting, and that is Nuno, by the way. Even at Wolves, he could make it boring, and he could get some points in the game. So I think that is that's a problem, and that's why that is what Godfrey is speaking about. That if Nuno and Bruno Lange have a philosophy where they have gone, how about Mikel? What is he doing? He's cut all the time.
That comment makes me feel so bad. I remember years ago, like just go back to 2009. Man, used to enjoy watching Arsenal. I know people don't like Van Persie and Adebayo, but with Van Persie, Adebayo, Fabregas, Nasri used to play some good football. There's a time in 2009, 2010 season, I don't think I'll remember the exact number, but in the first 7 games, we had scored 33 goals. 7 games, we had scored 33 goals. We beat Everton 6-1. I think that was Vermaelen's birthday. Derby, sorry. I think we beat Blackburn 6 goals. We beat Wigan 4 goals. The style of play those days, used to enjoy watching Arsenal. Right now, I think Arteta is a good coach. I think he will become a good coach in the next few years, 5-10 years. But I think as of now, he's just overthought everything. He's just overthought everything, and then he's just messed up everything.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been reported that his style of play is complicated, and the players are finding it hard to adapt. That a couple of times when players start to build rhythm and momentum in training, he stops play. So really, his tactics have become so hard for players to follow, and that is only on a report. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I know. Like they also say that in the touchline, he's talking too much. He's telling them do this, do that, don't move this, don't move there. I think that affects players sometimes. Sometimes you need to let the players play.
Yeah,
but I usually prefer to look at the situation both ways. Sometimes I also look at the likes of Chambers, and I'm like, I'd also be sitting there next to him, telling him, do this, you jump. Don't let Sterling jump ahead of you. Like, this players need too many instructions, but I think he's overdoing it, and I think it's just affecting everything.
Yeah, and I also think it's affecting the way players do their basics, because whenever you want to do something sophisticated, well, at times you forget the basics. Like it's like coming on a live stream and you just forget to turn on the live button. That's it. So I think
it's like I come on a live stream. Before you jump on the live stream, because it tells me, talk for exactly 30 seconds. Do not make it 32. Talk here for 30 seconds, and then we'll take this comment from Melvin for 1 second, not 2, 1. I'm even let's talk about Arsenal, not timing and all that. So yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the moment he affects the basics, it's done. It's gone. It's gone, and that's why you see Arsenal is really struggling to find a playing philosophy. Yes, Arsenal need a right back. That's according to Johanna. Thank you so much. Yes, Xhaka plays has to go to Rome. We don't want you Arsenal. That's according to Johanna. Cossy, we are just waiting for new signings. Otherwise, Kroenke Kroenke should go. I've done a Kroenke out stream. You should check it out, and I'm still doing more. I think I should do a Kroenke out stream on a daily basis, because I'm just tired of this guy, man. Edu doesn't know which player is needed in the club and in the right time. It's, Olivia. Well, I think he knows, but I don't know why he doesn't get them in. That's the reason, guys. Ben White is totally good because he had good DM. Bissouma. But in Arsenal, we have no players like Bissouma, Kamavinga, McTominay. If we get a good DM, then our defense will be better. That player that sits in front of the back line. And I think that's why I always advocate for Albert Sambi as my best signing so far in this window. Do you think he has a point? Ben White is good, but we just need a proper DM.
Yeah, I think Ben White is a very good player. I think like not having anyone, like if you have Kolasinac next to you and then you have El Neni in front of you, no disrespect to El Neni, but I don't think it's Arsenal quality. And then on your right side you have Cedric and Bellerin. I think it's very true. Actually, now I've really believed it. If you're around bad people, you become bad. That's the same there. If you're around people like that, you just become like them. Like basically, there's too much to think of. Even overthink your passes, you overthink your clearances, and it just affects you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Klopp started with young players. We need a manager who can bring the best out of Saka, Pepe, Ben, Odegaard. This can be one of the best in the future. With Arteta, no. It's a big no. That's another point. I think the project is right. The manager is wrong, right? The manager is wrong. If you look, do you think if you get Arsene Wenger this batch of players, do you think he would do better with them?
I think Wenger would do better. Wenger used to do better with players because he was like a father figure to these players. If a player makes a mistake, he'd talk to you. And then I think sometimes Wenger used to tell these players, you know what, just go and play. It's 90 minutes, just go enjoy yourself. Sometimes I even don't think maybe didn't, and players used to enjoy that. The Wilsheres, the Ramses. So I think he'd do better. I think he'd do better than Arteta. But one thing I don't agree with is not that he wouldn't win the trophy. Don't tell me Wenger would win the trophy. These players ahead of Klopp, he wouldn't. The Klopps and Guardiola's had overtaken Wenger in terms of football in modern days, but in terms of being better than Arteta, yes.
Okay. Cossy and Glenn, Xhaka has done more harm than good at Arsenal. We made a mistake of wanting more money from. Thank you so much, Powell. Melvin, thank you so much. I said it on my stream and people said, "Oh, look at Cossy, he's a Spurs fan." And I told you, when you look at other central midfielders, we don't have one. We don't have a central midfielder. And finally, people, people say it. But do you think we wanted to sell Xhaka, or it was just a small screen? And because it was reported that the player, the Arsenal wanted to keep the player right from January.
I do believe them. I do believe they wanted to sell him, but Roma did not offer enough money. But I do kind of agree with the previous comments. That money would have taken it and ran. Well, how much do you want for Xhaka? 30, 40 million? You can't get that. Xhaka, he's number one. I don't know if you guys believe this. He's number one in terms of making mistakes in the last 5 years. Number one. Like, he's no player from Norwich, no player from QPR, no player from Burnley. None of those players are ahead of Xhaka. Xhaka is number one in terms of making mistakes. And he's playing for Arsenal. Not one mistake or two. 9. Not mistakes that there are good mistakes, like Cossy always tells you guys. Like when Rodri fouls someone and it's 1-0 and you make a mistake, you like foul someone, a good mistake. That's a good mistake. Yeah. But the one for you're 1-0, you're 1-1, and then you need the points to go to the Champions League, and then he pulls someone in the box. There's another time he fouled Son in the box against Tottenham and he gave away a penalty. The one last season against Burnley, playing in the back, trying to pass the like all those mistakes. And then also, it's not just that, red cards and yellow cards, indiscipline, not a good red card. It's fighting people and choking people. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. So I would have sold him even for 10.
Yeah, many people believe Xhaka is a leader and a father figure in the Arsenal side, but he's a father figure, but he doesn't behave like a father figure. He doesn't, for me.
He doesn't. Like he's like Diego Costa. If you just annoy him just a bit, he's gone. So it's very easy for opponents to play. I'll just know, let me just foul Xhaka once. He'll get mad and choke me, and then he'll get a red card. It's so easy to play against him.
How are you doing, Emerson? Thank you so much for being on the chat. Don't you think Lacazette should be offered a new contract? I think he is really good. Now, this is where it becomes hard. I mean, your team Glenn. I'm not part of that. I'm not really part of that. But for me,
Yeah.
this is where this window was going to be decided from. Edu knew that players like Xhaka are running out of contract, with the same thing with Alexander Lacazette. But he had to decide: do I sell them? Do I give them new contracts? Do I just let them stay and their contract run down? And I think, look, my opinion on Lacazette doesn't change. He's been here for too long, right? He's been here for too long, and he needs to go. He needs to move on. We need new faces that can even do something. For me, I need potential. It doesn't matter how much potential you valued at. Whether you're so big in terms of potential, whether you're Erling Haaland, if you come at Arsenal and you don't deliver, you need to go. That's it. Let me tell you, Glenn, many Arsenal fans would keep Erling Haaland for 10 years just because he's Erling Haaland.
Yeah. All that what Cossy said has just come through and just gone out here. I totally understand what you're trying to say. I totally understand, but I mean, if you're trying to sell him, why do not sell him 2 months ago? We have 1 day remaining in the transfer window. It will be miraculous if they sell him and buy a new striker. And we've waited for all the strikers to go. Ings has gone and all those other strikers have gone. If they really wanted to sell him, they should have sold him 2 months ago, not on the final day. For me, I'd do what the comments said. I'd try and give him 1 year contract, not 400,000 a week. No, I'd try and get him 1 more year. And then I'll just risk it for this season. He was our top scorer last season. I don't think Lacazette is useless. I think he scored almost, he had 20 goal contributions last season. He's not useless.
Yeah, definitely, he's not useless. He's not useless. For this summer, for this season, keep him. Yeah, definitely keep him.
I'd risk it. I'd risk it and tell him, can you get us into the top 6? Can you get us in the top 6? If he does it, or if he does, then you sell him. Or for me, I'd let him go on a free. That's my opinion, but because he wouldn't. So a lot of different opinions with him.
Big up to you, Dalembe, as well. Thank you so much for always tuning in and watching the streams, guys. We need 3 lucky people to give us 3 likes, and we smash 100. It really means a lot when we get to 100 likes, by the way. So smash the like button, at least 100, 3 more likes, and we get the party done. You explained it very well last time. The Cronkies should get out real quick. Thank you so much, Shafiq. That shows that you really follow. Cossy, I want to see Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes set at the back line. It will be a good one. Okay, John Howell. But Glenn, don't you think it lacks the element of experience?
Which was it? The back line?
Yeah, Gabriel Magalhaes and Ben White.
It does. It does, but I think with Tierney on the side and a good right back like Trippier, it would be okay. But I think Gabriel and Ben White are good defenders. With Ben White last season, we managed to beat teams like United and Chelsea away, teams we've never beaten. So I think he has that leadership. He definitely needs someone to talk to him on the side. I think Ben White can do that. I think they can complement each other. But Chelsea have people like Thiago Silva and stuff. So I understand what you're saying, but I think they are better than Gabriel and Holding, for example.
Yeah, and I think the good thing with Gabriel is, I think he works hard. An element that I really love in him more than any other Arsenal player. He really works hard. You see him. He's always trying to do something. He's either clearing a ball, or he's having a block, or he's driving a ball forward. I think he really works hard. He's one of Tierney and Gabriel. I think in that defense, some of the players that you really think, they're always visible. And when they have a bad game, you can easily notice.
Also, our goalkeeper. I also think you need a goalkeeper who can talk. I don't think Lenello needs to improve on that. You need a goalkeeper who can talk. Someone to say, Tierney, no. Come back to the position you need to play, even if it's Tierney, whoever it is. But I feel like Arsenal's players are too quiet. I mean, Leno would not. I don't think Leno would abuse you if you made a mistake. I'm telling you, try and do that with goalkeepers like Van der Sar and Buffon. I'm telling you, those defenders had a hard time. Even Czech, he didn't care whether Terry was the captain. He'd tell him, no, I've told you to stand in this position on the wall, do this and do that. But I don't think Leno does that. So I think they just have to work together. We have to try and get Gabriel, Ben White, and Leno working together.
Shafiq says, yes, Wenger could do better. He was a player developer. Do you think we have reached that point of okay, we are sorry, we want you back, sir. Arsene Wenger, please come back. Are we there? Have we reached there?
Listen, we most of us wanted Wenger out, but we still love Wenger. Wenger
Yeah.
joining this Arsenal team is just bad for his heart. Let him enjoy himself wherever he is. Let him enjoy his retirement. Let him enjoy himself. We love Wenger, so let's keep him away from Arsenal. I think he would improve Arsenal. I think he would develop players, but again, time. We do not have time. Like, we've been waiting for 15 years. How much longer can we wait?
And I know he must be definitely hurting to see the
Yeah.
project. You know, he tried to, because look, by the time he left, he was not building the project. He was trying to lift it so that it doesn't crumble.
To
And the
recover it,
moment
yeah. Yeah, he
and the
was
moment
losing
you know,
it,
the
yeah.
project just crumbled. Yeah.
I saw it in even the final days we used to lose to these teams. The Bayern game, he was looking stressed. So I think it was a good thing for him to go. To get it as a replacement in Emery, maybe not so much, but I think it was time for Wenger to go 3 years before that. When he won the FA Cup, he should have gone then. And I don't blame Wenger, but I think if he would have gone then, we would have had the chance to get Klopp and Guardiola, and maybe it would have been a different team. I think he also knows he overstayed. I think he also knows he overstayed, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching in. Do smash a like on the video. At least let's get in 5 more likes. Let's get in 5 more likes. You know, you guys are the real ones. Very close to 120 likes. Thanks everybody for doing that. Let's get just 5 more likes. 5 more likes. Arsenal joined Smile already. Do you know Smile? Do you know Smile, Glenn? Stingy Men's Association.
Now the only Simao I know is the one who used to play for Portugal. Yeah, but I think we've joined that.
Yeah.
We've been so stingy with money so long. Man, 2016, every teams were buying money and those players, and we bought Czech. We only bought Czech for £8 million. Since then, I knew Arsenal. Like, I do not know where the money goes, but those people who are handling the money are really enjoying themselves now.
Okay, refurbishment. Arsenal needs some rascals. Needs some rascal star players to fight football totally against these equipped teams. Thank you so much, Aaron. Melanie says, "What is going on with Arsenal?" I mean, the shambles. The shambles everybody can see. Delema says, "Big up and Cossy, big up Cossy and Glenn. We need a right back and a top class CM." Yeah, I mean, for a CM, you're on my side. You're really on my side. I really desperately need a CM. Because you said you wouldn't make another video. And the Arsenal says Jesse Gochi. I mean, I told you. I told you it's so hard to keep away from Arsenal jerseys. I love this football club. I just love this football club.
The jerseys are nice. I think that's the only thing you can hold on to. I think we have the best jerseys in the Premier League. They're many, and that's the only thing we can hold on to. Yeah, so I think.
Caro says, Caro is crying now. Caro, don't cry. Don't cry. Cossy and Glenn, good evening. Good evening to you, Anu. Thank you for watching in, Anu. Always, I really notice you very, very often. Adam says, there is my like contribution. Thank you so much.
Can you do something before we end? Let us know in the comment section where you're watching from. I've seen someone from ZA, South Africa. So let us know where you're watching from, wherever, Africa, Europe, Australia, wherever.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us where you're watching from. It is really, really beautiful and so good that you guys can give us the numbers and the comments as well. Because you tell me about Lyon player. Now, to tell you about Lyon players, there are 2 that we are linked with. One is a story of Bruno Guimaraes that has been circulating, that Arsenal did contact Bruno Guimaraes in the Olympics, but he said he wants to win trophies with Lyon. I think that's a lie. Do you think he's gonna win trophies with Lyon? I think he just never wanted to go. Probably.
Yeah, just really never. Bruno won the Olympics with Brazil, by the way, so he's happy. Maybe Martinelli can convince him. I can see Dallas, Texas, RK. I can see South Africa. I can see Dante, Switzerland, John, Australia, Julius, Uganda, all over the world. Fasola, Nigeria. I can see Eric, Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting us know. It's all over the world, and keep supporting us.
Definitely. Thank you so much, people, for watching in. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cossy and Glenn. Thanks for the live show. Because you have made my day. It's been a long one. Thank you so much for appreciating. Have someone from India, and that is Nath from India. Cossy, I'll be happy when we'll be happy seeing AOUAR in London for Arsenal. Someone watching in from Bahrain as well.
Arsenal should see this. Arsenal should see all this. Look at all these countries: Europe, Asia, and the owners don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep on releasing, a training kit
Video.
and a training video, a training kit. But anyway, guys, we can't take it, above this. Thanks everybody for watching. You've been a very great audience. Do follow Glenn at Glenn Kitely. It's gonna be his link is in the title. Of course, just click on Glenn Glenn Kitely in the title, and it will be massive. You'll be able to follow him there because I'm always there as well. I love this club, but I haven't seen a lot of have been a lot of heartbreaks. I mean, there's so many heartbreaks, with Arsenal. Junior USA Boston, thank you so much, Moses, for watching in as well. Junior, Tosin from Nigeria. Dante, greetings to all Gunners around the world. Greetings to all you people. It's absolutely massive. My moderator, Semakulatoni, thank you so much for watching in as well, brother. AOUAR should be our playmaker. That's according to Bonnie. Glenn, thank you so much for coming on. We will be continuing this definitely on deadline day. Are you hopeful we'll get in one player? At least try to give the people hope. One player, probably?
At least, hopefully. Last summer, they signed Partey on the final day and he made us all happy. So I'm hoping they can do the same this summer transfer window. And we'll be back tomorrow.
All right, definitely. Of course, people, we are at 129 likes. We'd love to get to 130. Smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Big up, Glenn. Big up to people in the chat. Big up to RK, for the super chats, and big up to all you people who have tuned in right from the first minute. I'll speak to you very, very soon.